everybody, and if you're watching this video, that must mean it's Friday night, and actually it's Wednesday day while I'm doing this, but happy Friday night unboxing. I just happened to go to the mailbox today, and I got two packages. These were both shipped within a week. So well, this one, folks, is from the Ukraine, and that's not the normal res kit box, so I guess this is something else. That showed up in a week or less, and Mr. Manuel from Peru with Model On Details, that has shown up in less than a week. So we're going to pop open the two of these. It's a two for Friday. Double your pleasure, double the fun of our Friday night unboxing. Let's open these up, see what we got. Let's start off with Model On Details, and let's just pour everything out of the box here. First, apologies. If you watched the last Model On Details, we were in Hawaii, so we're not there. And well, Brian Walker, wherever you are in Texas, hope you're enjoying the, well, I don't know if you got sunshine, but holy smokes, look at these things. So, okay, we got to zoom in. Woo! So here we go. These are F-14 48 fuel tanks. Sorry, I'm out of breath. I just literally ran up the stairs. I'm so excited to break into these things. Oh my God, these things, wow. Oh, so these, oh, we're completely out of focus here. Here we go. Let's get these out of the way. These are like a whole new level of quality for Model On. The original ones I can show you in a minute here, but these have much easier, smaller attachment points, and the print is so much nicer than it used to be. I mean, it was great before, but this is a whole new level, and it doesn't have all the huge attachment points at the bottom. That was my biggest gripe, honestly. The attachment points were so big and so hard to get off without doing damage. But look at those things. Those are beautiful. And then our there'll be a separate piece right here with our end caps, both early curved and what's pretty much standard. Those parts there. Wow. And then our rails over here, which are just beautiful. So let's go ahead and cover these new parts. There's two new things that came in today. These are Tamiya 148 Strakes. So, wow, I've been anxiously awaiting these for quite some time here. So look at that. That is the Strake, and this is what makes this so freaking cool. Is that opening down there? That's I believe the oil cooler vent on the Strake, but look at that. That is nice and open, so it doesn't have that flat surface like the Tamiya part does. Other than that, a little bit more fastener detail on these parts, and other than that, they're basically the same as the Tamiya part, but that right there is worth the price of admission. And then, all right, here's the tie down points. It's there's just a whole bunch of sets of these. You order multiple Strakes and you get sets of these, but let's really see how well we can take a look at these. But they are both stowed and deployed, so lowered and uppered. But look at that design. One of the things before Mike Peister passed away, we had a chin pod, the TVSU, the F-14AB chin pod that he designed, and he also had done these tie-down points for the Strakes back in the day in 3D CAD, and we lost everything on his computer after he passed away. So unfortunately, we weren't able to help out with these, or I wasn't able to help out with these, but Manuel did a stellar job on these things. Look at those. Those are just freaking amazing. And again, these Strakes are just, you know, the Tamiya kit is pretty much, I think, one of the most perfect 48 kits ever made, or kits ever made. But these detail parts just give it that extra level of detail that's just spectacular. So Manuel, thank you so much for doing these. And up next, we're going to get a bigger scale. This is going to be 1/32 scale. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is for the Tamiya F-14A to convert to a GE motor. Look at that. Those are the fairing pieces and the carbon fiber shield. Here is our, wow. These are our GE cans. You can see with all the fastener detail in there, that's just freaking beautiful. And then the interior, wow. And it is keyed. There it says top, so that will line up with a part on the inside. So obviously it's won't slide all the way right now, but just to give you a look at the detail, that is it. And then this is the only company are the only people I know making these tubes in just such a brilliant way with different sections, because if you look down the GE tube, there's different... Oh, yeah? You're still hot?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and turn the fan on. That, ladies and gentlemen, is my daughter helping out today, and we have the first day of real actual heat where it is hot in this room and I am sweating and she's turning on the fan. So here you go. These are the interior sections for the exhaust. Let's take a look at the back. Oh yeah, baby. Look at this. Multiple parts there that go together. That is stunning. And then our section here, let's take a look. If you can see here, all that interior detail. And what I love about this, it's basically a dark gray and a light gray resin. You could almost get away with simply putting this in the kit. You do a little bit of weathering, but that right there is pretty close to the way the real thing looks. So that is just absolutely beautiful done. If you are thinking about doing a GE F14 in 32nd scale and you have the Tamiya kit, which is what I would rather build, you need these. So, wow, just beautiful. Next thing. And a quick look at the Phoenix rails. This is kind of a redo because the previous video really highlighted these in detail, but these are for me just like a resupply or restocking, but that detail is just stunning. I mean, look at the back here. So another kind of quick look at those, and then our front parts with the correct detail for the sides. Also, I'm going to point out once again on the back of this, you get options for all of the different rails. So if we turn it this way, you can read it. These are the attachment points. There's Great Wall Hobby, Tamiya, and Hasegawa. So these work in one set for any of the 348 scale kits out there. Build Tamiya, excuse me. And then finally, let's take a look at, we've got something very cool here. He has redone, these are the Fightertown decals as made by Flying Leathernecks bomb rails. These are Mike Pister's, I would say, maybe masterpiece in 32nd and 48 in CAD work. So these are the 32nd ones. We supplied... You need Cheetah Bingo? Yeah. Okay, let's get Cheetah Bingo. All right, stand by. All right, Bluey crisis averted there. All right, back to this. So sent him Mike's file, and he did a little bit of magic to update it and improve it a little bit. So like I said, these are the 32nd ones, and then these are the bomb shackles right there. But just stellar work. So you can buy from Manuel at Model on Details. Here is a pack of the 48 scale ones. You can see the detail is literally exactly the same. Or the files also done. Dave Roof at Flying Leathernecks has them for sale, and happy to be able to support two friends with Mike's artwork and kind of what he wanted to be able to do in terms of sharing the love and the design work. So thank you, Mike, for those. That kind of covers what I got from, well, let's just real quick. F14A engine faces. Here you go. I know I showed these as well before, but picked up a couple more sets of those. And every time I order from Model On, he's using higher and higher resolution printers, it looks like. But that is just easily the best 48 scale TF30 front fans. The res kits are pretty beautiful. These, I think, are a little bit later version of the TF30 with a couple more details, and these are just spectacular. So, Manuel, thank you so much. Happy to support you, my brother, and keep making the great stuff. I know we've got some Tomcat stuff we're looking forward to in the near future. All right, moving on. Okay, before we go, I did want to show you this. I promised. Here are the original fuel tanks, and you can see the attachment points here on the bottom, and several of them. And then here is our new tank, which has everything on the top, which is a little bit less visible. I think it's easier to trim and cut, and is missing on that bottom, which I think would be visible, all of these bars here. So detail-wise, they're the same detail. I can just tell that there's a a noticeable improvement in the print quality. So this is a higher quality printer that is churning these out, and they're just gorgeous. So the raised weld lines to me are worth every bit of the cost of admission, and I love these. Every time he has them in stock, I stock up. So there you go. There's a look at the differences between the original and the new. The next box is from Ukraine, and this is from a good friend in Ukraine. Never mind what that says. I know there's something in here, and that will give you a really good idea. Ta-da! Katran. And I've covered these in some of my videos before. I don't think I've done a specific review of them, but this, friends and neighbors, is the F14 Tamiya exhaust set, but you'll notice something different. What do you see in there? This stuff is all 3D printed. So previously had some 3D print parts with resin cast. And hi there, what's up, Bingo? We got, there you go. Okay. All right, we'll be back in a minute. Okay, where were we? So here in this box here, this is extras and spares. This is Katran's parts. Now what was cast is now 3D printed. There's the F14 Pratt & Whitney closed exhaust, and we've got a bunch of these parts in here. This is, let's just take a look at one of these. Oh my gosh, this is gorgeous. This is the GE exhaust, 3D printed now. So for me, I'm building a B right now, followed by a D. So these are going right on the build, and you can just see the level of detail in here is perfect. It's beautiful. And these will go into the 3D sets, or the original resin sets that I have. So thank you so much for these parts. I know without making political statements, life in Ukraine is I mean, I don't want to say challenging, but the fact that he was able to do these for me and ship them, and I got here with a week from Ukraine, is a huge. I'm just grateful and honored to be able to receive these. So thank you so much to Katran for their beautiful work and friendship. So let's, well, we got another box here. Let's look into this one real quick. Ta-da! Oh, ha, 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 ha. This, friends, well, a whole lot more of the Pratt & Whitney closed exhausts. So, but these are what I am just super excited about. I'm basically excited about everything. But these are the F14A. Let's zoom in and get a good look at these. These are the shrouds, the exhaust shrouds. Look at the level of detail on these pieces. Again, these replace the resin cast parts in the set. So after I build the B and now the D, I am going to have to go back and build another A with these pieces, because they are just so beautiful. And then our closed exhaust fits on there. Of note, this is, I think, the only set that's done it, but he has the ring. It's not the silver ring like on the GE, but this ring here on the back of the Pratt & Whitney. Everything else, kit and aftermarket, has it on the exhaust part or the pedals, and this has it here. I think that makes painting a little bit better and easier. It also just means you can't use intermix companies' pieces, but you wouldn't need to with this. This is just absolutely my favorite closed exhaust ever made. There you go. Okay, well, folks, have a wonderful Friday. Have a beautiful weekend. And from all of us here at Navarre and Scale, well, you want to say bye-bye? All right. And Bluey and Bingo. Have a wonderful weekend. Be excellent to each other. Model Navy, fly Navy, and model Navy some more. Peace out.